it's yeah, no, that's not true. Second is out of the round 3 against it. Okay, fun, have fun, good luck.
Good luck.
Yeah, team draft good.
Okay.
So I've heard anyway. Good on the street.
Draft good.
Hello and welcome to another Team Draft LA League match. Getting close to the end of Edge of Eternity season here. Just one more match to
I
go.
got an upside down card. Is that good?
And pretty tight race for first place, so should be an interesting finish. This pack is going to be one of these three up at the top here. I do just enjoy playing with Requiem Monolith. It's a very flexible card that's kind of difficult to use optimally. There's a lot of interesting things you can do with it. And so I feel like earlier in the season I might have just picked it. But these last couple of weeks I've been trying to have a more conscious mental effort to prioritize stats on board and specifically to see white as a playable color, which was certainly just an oversight on my part early on in the format. Starfield Shepherd is just incredible, though. If you build the deck right, it's kind of 2 tutors plus a 3/2 flyer, all wrapped up into one card. So yeah, it's stronger than a lot of rares out there. So don't mind first picking that one for sure. Pick 2 is where it starts to get a little more interesting, though. This is an incredibly powerful pack with 2 Cryogen Relics, Perigi, Beckoner, Honored Knight Captain, Harmonious Grove Strider, Umbral Collar Zealot. Just really, really stacked pack here. There's even other nice playables among the other cards. So the question is what to take. Obviously, Honored Knight Captain's in my color, but I think that's significantly weaker of a 2-drop than, for example, either of these, Umbral Collar Zealot and Cryogen Relic. And if it comes down to those two, then I'm kind of inclined to just take the black card and pass 2 Cryogen Relics, knowing that one of them will almost certainly get taken by my teammate. And then pick 3, we see the Self-Craft Mechan back there, which would be a really nice follow-up to Cryogen Relic, obviously. So I'm a little sad to pass those in sequence. But similarly, we have that and the Uthro-Scan Chip, which are both solid blue 4-drops, And for me, who's just taken the number of colors out, there's a tragic trajectory here, so... Envoy Infiltrator I've come down on significantly from the first couple weeks of the format, and on the other hand, Rescue Skiff is not, it's a seemingly clunky, it is a kind of a clunky 6-drop that promises a big flyer, but it's kind of hard to actually turn it on with the high station cost. But again, just trying to actively go against my instincts a little bit and recognize it for the 2-for-1 and dangerous evasive body that it is, and just trusting that in the team draft format, it's Station 10 is not going to be as unattainable as it would be in an online league, for example. Pick 5, Halia is incredibly powerful. I think by far the most powerful card here. Ice Cape Crasher is also pretty solid. Honor's okay. I wouldn't mind wheeling it after taking a Halia, for instance, but Halia seems to be the clear pick there. Next up, last fresh pack, we see another Self-Craft Mechan, as well as a Pinnacle Kill Ship. But, Kill Ship is a 7-drop that I wouldn't mind running the first copy of in most decks in the format. But if I know I'm white, which it's certainly seems I'm leaning that way at this point, Focus Fire is going to be premium. So I'm just going to snap that up.
Pokebox USA.
2 p.m.
2 p.m. I hate it.
And yeah, it seems that
Should start at 10 a.m.
Is that the one
I'm
we played?
leaning towards a base white,
morning?
or being base white at this point.
You weren't there.
And then I have some powerful green and black cards
Yeah, I've been there once. I went down there
Um,
having like super awesome
that I will keep in mind.
box.
Pick 7. This pack wasn't super powerful to begin with. It's basically
Are you
one of these
spying on us?
green or white 3-drops, neither of which is going to be super impactful or have much bearing on future decisions. Having
Welcome to team draft here. Like, act like you've been here before.
I'm not sure that something like I might like divert disaster slightly more or something, but it's of course not good enough to just take a blue card at this point,
That's right.
especially after passing all the blue up to this point. Being more solidly rooted in white, I'll just take the Red Spear Zealot. I do think it's an okay sideboard card if you end up playing against a deck with a lot of 1/1s, 2/2s, 3/2s, that kind of thing. And I'm pleasantly surprised to see the Honored Knight Captain Wheel. Of course, this again was just an incredibly powerful pack. It's the one with the double Cryogen Relics. But yeah, now that we have that, I'm going to be on the lookout for auxiliary boosters. It's the probably the best thing that you can be doing with Honored Knight Captain in the format. And then I'll just take another white 2-drop over. Basically nothing here. And just like that, my curve is looking quite nice. I've got some good interaction as long as I end up in black, getting the tragic trajectory in there.
Yeah.
But if not, my white core, at the very least, has a nice curve and pretty solid set of playables so far. Winding up pack 1 here with not much to speak of. I just take the black 2-drop here. That goes well with the Umbral Collar Zealot. If that's what I end up doing, of course. Again, nothing here. Just take the more playable of the 2 spells. And just get a land here. So yeah, just as I said, I've got a nice foundation in white, and honestly getting both of those white 2-drops on the wheel is certainly not nothing.
We ready for next one?
In terms of signals and just making sure that my curve is solid. Pick 2, pick 1. See a Banishing Light.
I got a
That will be
lander drown.
very nice. But we'll see what else we got. Dual Sun Adepts. It's also pretty solid, I think. It's not the best thing ever. Pain for All is a decent rare, but not a bomb or anything. There's the Is It Memnon back there, but of course I'm nowhere near making that happen. And again, the Pinnacle Kill Ship, something that I will generally run one of, but pretty clear Banishing Light here over the Double Striker, which I found to be, it's a threat, but it's kind of a small one that's relatively easily dealt with. Very sad to see Weft Walking get past my way. A little surprised too, after all the blue that I passed to my left. It seems like the person I was passing to would be in prime position for a left walking. Mostly I'm just sad because I really want to play with it at some point in this format. Haven't had the chance to, and I've had it passed to me in team drafts a couple times in spots when I haven't.
The last card from the last one?
Oh yeah, there was.
I passed this. When?
I think I accidentally left a card on the table here. Not Sinister Cryologist. Oh boy. Basically, this is just trying to decide if I have to hate pick the left walking, and figure that I got past so much blue in pack 1 that it seems very, very unlikely that Jared's in blue, and so just taking a Night Luminary seems okay here. Is it finally time to take a kill ship? Edge Rover, Seam Rip, and a Cov Landseeker, which I'm a huge fan of. And I do like more than a kill ship, but doesn't seem like the time to start taking red 4-drops. So Wethblade Enhancer, which I'm pretty okay with playing, especially if I end up playing the Halia. Nebula Dragon is just fine, but fairly replaceable. It is splashable though, so it's worth considering. Seam Rip has been a little bit narrow, compared to something like Banishing Light. It's certainly more of a sideboard card, so not something that I'm looking to take right here. Wethblade Enhancer, again, it's got nice +1 counter synergies with Halia. And much like the Paragi Beckoner, it puts lots of stats on board all at once to help with stationing spacecraft, for example. Lex Knight Breacher, I think, has been okay for me in a go wide sort of deck, but Diplomatic Relations, when I'm already looking to play Halia, seems like a very powerful option here. Last fresh pack, we see the Starfield Vocalist, which I'm just so surprised at how that card hasn't panned out. On its face, it looks very powerful, and it seems fairly well supported in the format, even just acting as an extra copy of a Cryogen Relic when you warp it in, for example, something like that. It seems like it's a threat that would need to be dealt with. But again, I already passed a left walking to my right. It doesn't seem like doesn't seem like I need to be hate picking blue cards in this pack. First wheel, we see the Zookeeper Mechan as just kind of clearly the most powerful option. Again, though, it's just far too late for me to be considering that. There's basically nothing here for me. Except that, I've got Halia and Diplomatic Relations now, and Fungal Colossus is stats on board. So we're going to take it here. The Wormwall Sweeper, I think, is okay. Now that I am definitely leaning more in the green direction, the Blooming Stinger could be considered. Again, basically nothing else notable here, but I think Wormwall being a flyer that smooths out your early draws means it gets the nod here. Now I'll take the Seam Rip as a decent sideboard option. Same with the Shattered Wings here. Or Hilderblade. Interesting. No, okay. Shattered Wings. Side note on the Roving Actuator, it took me way too long to realize that card was just straight up bad. One of those cards that will always read pretty well to me. And I put it in certainly too many decks before I realized that it was much closer to unplayable than playable. And that's pack 2. Again, just got deeper into white and likely cemented green as my secondary color. There's 3 2.5-ish green cards that I'm excited to play here, so
We're supposed to have colors.
No, not you.
Oh, yeah, you. Nice.
got some of the usual drafting jokes flying around the table here. Pack 3, we see another Night Luminary to pressurize Larval Scoutlander. Vincent over there was laughing because he opened, he first picked Memnon and then first picked another Memnon out of this pack. And you saw that I had to go back through the pack because I was like, wait, did I not get a rare out of this one? The anti-causal vestige was getting stuck in the back there, but that's clearly the pick. A little sad to pass a Larval Scoutlander, as well as the Night Luminary. But not sad about first picking anti-causal vestige. Pick 2, you see Sammy, another Starfield Shepherd, which is very likely going to be the pick. Notable Virus Beetle back there, as well as another Focus Fire, which I would certainly play, but not taking it over Shepherd number 2. Not taking Focus Fire number 2 over Shepherd number 2. I might even take Shepherd number 3 over Focus Fire number 2. Depends on how the rest of the deck looks. Get another crack at a Dual Sun Adepts here, as well as a couple other white 2-drops. White has seemed relatively open to me, which is interesting because it turns out it actually wasn't. It was just, I guess, collated pretty highly in these packs. And then quite happy to get a pick 4 Banishing Light. I think that's relatively late as far as the quality of the card goes. The deck's shaping up nicely. Get another crack at a Focus Fire here. There's a Servandum, another Self-Craft Mechan. Lava Claw Reaches. I love man duels. Take that for how you will. I do sort of want the second Focus Fire more in my heavy white deck, but with the double Starfield Shepherd, I think having at least one drop to tutor up seems pretty important. Pick 6, we see Radiant Strike, another Blooming Stinger. Basically, all the power has already been drained from this pack. I think Radiant Strike is relatively playable in Team Draft, though. The life gain helps make up for the otherwise clunky sort of nature of the card. There's another Wormwall Sweeper and another Blooming Stinger. I think I want first Blooming Stinger over second Wormwall Sweeper, especially when I have a Diplomatic Relations in the deck. Pick 8, the Sammy's still here. basically nothing. Lost in Space being the most notable card here. But I do have, a Survey Mechan and the Fungal Colossus that would both like some non-basics. And Reflecting Pool is one of the better of the weak non-basics, I guess is how I would frame it here. It at least taps for your colors, even if it doesn't help fix you. It can kind of help fix you, like if you want to cast some double pipped cards like the Starfield Shepherd, but also cast cards of other colors. I think it's can be helpful. And we're winding things down here. I don't think there's much else of note in the pack here. There's pretty late Nebula Dragon, which I am just going to take here. And not play. Pull Through the Weft is not going to be played. Another Bright Spear Zealot. And a mountain. So yeah, we ended up almost mono white with I think around 5 green cards being played in total. We're going to take a look at it here. And yeah, the deck played out pretty nice. There's a good mix of consistency and power and interaction. This is Mike's Is It deck with 2 of the Is It Memnons and some good interaction, card advantage kind of stuff.
I don't know if it quite got there.
Here's Alex's Orzhov deck with 2 Wraths, the Extinguisher Battleship and the Beyond the Quiet.
Yeah, I mean, the reason I want to cut Scour is because I had
Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think.
Right.
just like a lot of like dirtily draw value.
Mm-hmm.